Hey, hey, hello, determined nail babes. How are you? As you hop on, say, let's grow. Whether you're watching live or the replay, say, let's grow, because that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I am so excited to be here with you. I am Bridget Dix. I'm an executive director of Team Go For It, and my phrase, my kind of life motto for my business is I'm just a girl who decided to go for it. And that's kind of how I have ran my business and found success. Hey, Tammy, found success. I just decided to jump all in and to go for it. I'm so excited to be here with you tonight. Thank you so much, Tammy, for inviting me. Thank you, all of you, for all of your time and for tuning in. First, I want to tell y'all, you have an amazing leader, and I'm sure y'all know that, but I met Tammy in Florida this past May, and it was like this instant connection, this instant bond. She is amazing. But you know how else I know that she's amazing? Because she heard you guys saying, you gals, guys, stylists, saying that you wanted some tips or advice or tools for enrolling, and she went out and found that for you. So she invited me here, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm so excited to be here and to share with you all. Before we get started, I'm going to read a poem for you, and I'm going to try to make it through it without crying, okay? I have not done it successfully yet, but I think I've got it. I think I've got it now. And I will tell you as I read it, the reason that it makes me so emotional is because I was her. I was the girl in the poem, and I think about, you know, you'll see once I read it, I think about me and where I would be. So without further ado, I'm going to read this to you, okay? I want you to think about this, and I want this to kind of set the tone for everything we're going to talk about tonight. It says, just maybe she needs me. It had been a long day. I was finishing a task. As I hurried past her, a little voice said, ask. Oh, not today, I told myself. I'm too tired and it shows. Besides, I might look foolish, and likely she'd just say no. While drifting off to sleep that night, I saw her face again. I wondered what her life was like, her needs, her dreams, her pain. What if she'd been wishing for a friendly word and smile, a chance to know somebody who would go the extra mile? What if she'd been waiting for a break, an open door? What if this opportunity is the one that she'd been praying for? I saw the car she might not drive, the ring she might not wear, because I would not risk myself to stop, to ask, to care. So what if what I offer is not her cup of tea? That's a choice for her to make. How selfish can I be? When all my dreams are realized, I don't want to have regret for the lives I wouldn't touch and change, the no's I did not get. So let me live from now on and let my mission be not to think, do I need her, but to think she might need me. Pretty powerful, right? I made it, just barely. But I was that person. I was that person who needed somebody to offer, to ask. I needed an opportunity. I needed to change my life. I needed this business to come into my life. And thank goodness somebody put themselves out there and asked, right? A lot of you watching are probably in the same boat. You probably needed this too. That's why you're here. And think if nobody had shared this business with you. Yes, I will post it. I'll post it in the comments or even as a separate post if you guys want it. But I want this to stick with you, to remember this. And everything that we are going to talk about tonight as far as tips for enrolling, tools, things like that, always go back to this mindset, because what we have is something to offer. It's not something we're pushing on people. It's not something that we want people to do if they don't want to do it. But our job is just to offer this incredible business opportunity, and even the product when we're finding new customers is just to offer. So think, what if that person needs us? And if you think about it that way, I promise it's going to change your outlook and the way you see things. So we made it through that. And before we get started with the tips, I want to tell you guys really quickly that enrolling is truly a numbers game when you're building your team and adding on and adding on. You have to get through the no's to get the yeses. But more importantly, it goes back to that poem that people need us to ask them. They need us in their lives. They need this opportunity in their lives. So I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I have 8 tips, tricks, tools, things for you tonight. So if you're taking notes, you might want to grab your pencil. We've got 8. As we go, if something stands out to you, type it in the comments. That way other people can see, your takeaways and what you're getting from this. And you can come back later and see that too. So tip number 1 kind of is, part of it is who to ask. And I'm going to tell you to ask everybody, of course. But the first person that I usually start with is one of the easiest asks. It is my nail bar hosts. And I always ask my hosts both before and after their nail bars. Before, I have 2 different ways that I ask, and it kind of depends on my relationship with the person, how well I know them, how the conversation has been going, how comfortable I feel with them. So the first one, most of you should be familiar with BAM Party Plan. If you are not, check out bampartyplan.com. But it is part of the hostess coaching, and it's just a simple message to the hostess that says, before we get this party started, I just have to ask, if you've ever considered doing what I do, we could turn this into your launch party. I always throw in there that I would still help run it. I could run it for them so they could watch. We could do it together, or I could give them the steps. I let them, have that option. The other way that I ask them before the party is if I'm more comfortable with them, I say, okay, girl, we can do this one of 2 ways. Just like we planned, I can run this as the stylist, and with you as the host, you get all the rewards just like we planned. Or if you've ever thought about doing this with me, you could do this. You could get all of the commission from the sales that I'm going to get. I'm still going to help you and support you because you would be my team member. You would get all of that commission and the rewards. Which way do you prefer to do it? I'm totally cool doing it either way. And doing it that way shows them that we are thinking about them and that we have something to offer them. And it's not a pushy way. It's not, oh gosh, here she comes asking me to join her business kind of thing. But it's, with our hosts, it's truly showing them we can do this together and you can do it either way. So that's how I ask my hostesses before a nail bar. And then afterwards, even if they said no in the beginning, afterwards, I always tell them, and I got this from one of my downlines, I can't take credit for this, but I always ask them something like, your party went really great. We have a captive audience in your party group. Before I purge and close out your group, I just wanted to check with you again to see if you've changed your mind about this nail business and doing this with me, because you already have all of your friends that love the product and that are, already what would be the start of your own VIP group. What do you think? And I always end it with something like that, like, what do you think? It's an open-ended question. So it gives them a chance to give me feedback. So I can kind of test the waters and see, are they a yes? Are they a not right now? Are they a no, never kind of person? Which most people are not a no, never kind of person. I'm just going to put it out there. Most people, it takes about 7 different touches before they get enough information to make a decision. And they say no along the way because they're not quite ready to say yes. And they know that the opposite of yes is no. So if they're not ready to say yes, the only other thing they know to say is no. But we keep putting that information out there. So after their nail bar exposure, after they get to see how much fun it was, how much fun their friends had, I go back and ask them again. And if they say not right now, I keep them on my list and I follow back up later. So that was number 1. I ask my hostesses before and after every single nail bar. Tip number 2 also comes from BAM Party Plan, but I always make a post in my nail bars that opens up an opportunity for them to ask questions about my business. If you follow BAM Party Plan, it is post number 5, but I simply do a graphic. I've got pictures from different events like conference and things like that with team meetups, just showing all of the fun, the good times that we have. And I tell them, all the different possibilities, like you can do this as, part-time, hobby, whatever. Ask me any question you have about the business. And a lot of people, even though they might not ask questions, they're reading. And I usually give them an entry to a prize to try to get more participation. But then once they see answers to some of the stuff, they're like, oh, okay, I'm a little bit more intrigued. And I always answer the people in the thread, in the post, in the nail bar. But then I PM the person later. And I'll say something like, hey, Sarah, thank you so much for participating in Jennifer's nail bar. I appreciate you asking your question about the business. I know sometimes people just post questions for entries in the game or for the prize, but tell me what other questions I can answer for you. I typically don't say, do you have any other questions? Because that's a yes or no question. They can say, nope. I usually say, tell me what other questions they have. And they'll say, oh, I don't have any more, or I was just participating for the prize. Or if they do have other questions, they're going to open up and start asking them, because you've opened that conversation, that dialogue back and forth. So they feel like it's, you know, more of a safe spot, and that their questions are invited. So I always post in my nail bars. And think about it, if you ask your hostess, and if the hostess invites 10 to 15 people to every nail bar, that's 16-ish people that you're asking basically every single nail bar. Now, not all 15 guests might comment, and you might not get, you know, in there, but you're putting the opportunity in front of all of those people. All right, so number 3. This one is more of a tool. It is a 3-way chat. I don't know if y'all do that a lot, but put your potential stylist in a chat with you and an upline, or you and a leader. This is a tool, and number 1, it makes you not have to be the expert. So yay for not having to know all the answers, right? But it also shows that person that if you don't know all the answers, they could do this, and they don't have to know all the answers also. And that if they do this, they're going to have the same kind of support that you have. So it takes that pressure off of them if they're sitting there thinking, can I do this? And if they start asking you all of these questions, and you have all of the answers, and you seem like the expert, they might be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to know all the answers like Jennifer does. Like, that's just impossible. I couldn't do what she does. And I'm guilty of this in the beginning, y'all. I used to word vomit. I used to give people too much detail. I would answer every question. When they didn't have any more, I would ask, like, what other questions do you have? So I've learned through the time to use this tool to show people that we're in this together. We're a community. We support each other. And it helps validate everything that you've told them. So if you're telling them how incredible this opportunity is, and then somebody else comes in and tells them how incredible this opportunity is, it's just another person validating everything that you've already said. And if it's your upline, one of your upline leaders, she can also sing some of your praises. Like, you know, Tammy's a fantastic leader. She's done this and this and this with her team. If you sign with her, you won't go wrong. So they can really, you know, validate you as a person, as a leader, as a support system for them as well. All right. Tip number 4. And y'all, I talk fast and I have a Southern accent. And I just realized y'all are not from down here. So if you need me to say something again or slow down, just tell me. Number 4, this one is more how to ask, and I'm going to give you some scripts and some tools. So one of my favorite ways to ask people, it seems so simple and casual because that's how I want it to be. I don't want it to seem like this big thing. So I usually say something like this. Hey, Sarah, I saw that amazing nail fee that you posted in my VIP group. Girl, your nail fees are gorgeous. You could sell so many nails. Have you ever considered slinging nail polish with me? Some people don't like the whole slinging nail polish with me. So if that's a phrase that you're not comfortable with, or it doesn't sound like you, you could say, have you ever considered doing what I do? And you would be shocked at the number of people that say, well, I've thought about it, or I've had some questions. You'll get some like, no, that's not for me. But the amount of people that are like, well, I've considered it, will blow your mind. So I always try to find a true compliment, whatever it is that stands out about that person to me, whether it's her nail fees, whether it's her social media presence, whether it's I see her out in town and she speaks to everybody and everybody knows who she is, whether it's she's given me all these referrals to my VIP group, whatever it is about that person that stands out to make me think that they would be amazing, I let them know. And here's, you know what, at the end of the day, if they say no, but you've still given them a compliment, you've still made them feel good about themselves. You've been that positive in their day. You've given them a reason to smile or something to be happy about. And if it's a not right now, but you've already told her everything that you see in her, other people might not be telling her that. The culture and community that we have here in Color Street is not the same as it is out in the regular real world. So she might not be getting that other places. So if it's a not right now, but you've given her that and that confidence and that self-esteem boost, later, if she's ready, she's going to come back to you because you've already, you know, given her something that most people aren't. Okay, ready for number 5? This one is a tool that you can use. It is a 3-minute video that I created with some other stylists, some uplines, downlines, sidelines. I'm going to give you the link for it. And if somebody will type it in the comments, I will love you forever. If you're not able to, then I will post that after this is over as well. It is Y Color Street, the word Y, W-H-Y, Color Street, .teamgoforit.com. altogether, a web address, ycolorstreet.teamgoforit.com. This is a video, like I said, it's 3 minutes, it's fast. It talks about the product in the beginning and why Color Street's an amazing product. But then it goes into the opportunity. We touch on the earning opportunity. We touch on the different potential stylist levels, whether it's part-time for, for the discount only, part-time, hobbyist, all the way up to career level kind of thing. We talk about the incentive trips that they can earn. We talk about the sisterhood and the bond. We talk about all of the goodness that is part of Color Street, and we put it into a quick 3-minute video. So with that, here's some ways that I use that when I'm sharing with people. So if somebody asks me, number one, they're like, well, I'd like some more information on what you do, or I've thought about this, can you tell me more? That's one of the tools that I will send them. Also, if I'm reaching out to the person and they've not asked me about it, I'll usually say something like, hey Jenny, I have a quick 3-minute video. I would love for you to take a look and give me some feedback. I would love to see if this is something that may be a good fit for you or for someone you know. Let's see, I thought I wrote down my other, I have another one I like for that too. I'm checking my notes for my scripts. Hang on one second. Okay. I know I say it later, but all of these scripts you can kind of use back and forth and interchangeably. That's the one I use the most if I am, like I said, if I'm approaching them. But the biggest part to this one is you're going to want to follow up. If you find out that it is something they'll take a look at, afterwards you want to ask some open-ended questions like, what was your favorite part? Or tell me what surprised you or stood out to you the most. If they liked it, if they want some information, that's when you can move them to a 3-way chat. You're basically just going to move them from one tool to another until they continue to get all of these exposures and they get enough information. Remember, it takes at least 7 touches for most people. So they get all of this information so that they can make their decision. So we'll get to some more of the scripts that I was talking about in just a minute. Number 6. Let's talk about pitching and sharing the business opportunity in our posts. This can be both in your VIP group and on your personal Facebook page. And it's basically, like I said, just sharing blessings or information about the business in a more public area that people are going to see, not necessarily a private message. I know some of you have done the GEMS trainings. Some people have done the colors and figured out which color you are. Some people are into Enneagram, but all of that basically talks about different personality types. And you might not know this or have thought about it, but we typically pitch and post things in our own personality types, whether it's our own gem or our own color or our own Enneagram number. We typically post things because that's what we're most comfortable with and that's what appeals to us. So I'm going to give you 4 different pitch styles that you want to make sure that you are reaching over the course of time. So the first one is going to be emotional. You want to show relationships, sisterhood, fun, how this business fills your cup, all of the blessings, all of the extra that you get to do, just how it adds to your life, all of the emotional things. That's going to reach one set of people. The second one is people that like facts and figures. These are your data people. They want to see success stories. They want numbers. So you can show team stats, even if it's not your own team. If it's Tammy's team or another team that you own, you can show team stats. You can show success stories. Give me 1 second, I'm sorry. But those people are going to want the facts, the figures, the data. One thing every month, people typically show, how many stylists at each level. You can show where you fall in that category. Show them the numbers. Show them your own successes. They want to see, number one, can it be done? And who all's doing it? Is it real? Like they need the data to see that it's a real thing, that it's a real business. The third type of people are people that like incentives, prizes, and challenges. They want to win. They want to win anything. It could be this pen right here. They're like, oh, there's a challenge for the pen. I want to win it. I want that pink pen. They want to earn stuff. They like competition. These are people you're going to put out the incentive trip for, other prizes, whether it's incentives from the company or other teams that you're on that you win or that's, that are being offered up. Show them all of the things that they can get through this business other than just pretty nails or a paycheck, because some people want the prizes. They want the good stuff, the extras. And the fourth type are people that are organizational. They like systems. They like to know that your ducks are in a row. Their biggest thing they want to know is, how are they going to succeed? What is in place that's going to help them if they get started? So these are the people that you can talk to about, the Color Street app, the Tuesday trainings, a new stylist call, anything that your team may do consistently and regularly that's going to support stylists and help them achieve their goals and help them win and do all of the things. So that's going to touch all four of those big different personality types: the emotional people, the facts, figures, and data, the people that like incentives and prizes and challenges, and the people that are organizational and they like to know there's a system, there's a way everything's going to work out, and that they can do this. That's one of the biggest questions people ask themselves is, can I do this? So showing them that yes, you can, and you're going to have me, and you're going to have my uplines, and you're going to have all of these people help support you and get you to your goals. Yes, you can do this. So with those four types, I'm going to challenge you to pitch at least a different style every week to a week and a half, changing up the style. So you could do one every week and that covers you for a month, and you're reaching out to different people. So everybody, like the same people might see some of your posts over and over, but one of those four are probably going to speak to them or pull at their heartstrings more than the others. So it's not going to feel like you're doing the same thing over and over. Yes, you're showing your business and your lifestyle and the blessings and the things that you've gotten from this opportunity and from this company, but you're doing it in different ways. So it's going to stand out to different people. All right, number 7. Use your Facebook stories. People are watching stories. Stories are where it's at right now. It's the new thing. Facebook is putting them in front of people. You can do nail fees. You can post about your lifestyle. You can post about your blessings. One of the biggest things I'm going to tell you to do is ask questions. And ask questions that typically are not really yes or no questions. You could post something about the opportunity, anything that says something like, are you ready to join me? And your answers could be, I'm ready, or I'm scared, or I'm ready and I have questions. Something that's not a no, because we don't really want the people saying no. But if somebody's hesitant, they might say, I'm scared, or I have questions. And then that opens up that conversation for you to say, okay, let's talk about this. What are you scared about? What's your biggest hesitation? What's your biggest hold up? Or what questions do you have? What can I answer for you? Monica Fagundes is one of my uplines and has mentored me through my career with Color Street. She has a fantastic training on stories. She did a connect the dots on it in the official Color Street stylist group. If you just search her name, Monica Fagundes, it's Fagundes. Her training on stories is fantastic, and she does a much better job presenting it all in a pretty little picture than I could do. That's a whole other training. So if you are not as comfortable with stories or familiar with them, check her training out. And she's even the one that I got the whole ask them two different ways to answer a yes kind of thing. I got that tip from her. Yes, her last name is Fagundes, Fagundes. And I think if you type in Facebook stories or stories in there, you'll probably find it too. But if you find her name, I think it's the first one that pops up. Okay, number 8. We're rounding them out. Let's talk for a minute about being authentic. I hear a lot of people say, I want to know how to do this and not sound salesy or spammy. So this goes back to that mindset in the beginning, that poem. First of all, we need to think about, we're offering them something and she might need you. If you approach it from that mindset, the spamminess is going to go away. If you stop thinking about, I've got to grow my team, or I've got to fill this hole, or I've got to hit circle of excellence, or I've got to hit this or do that. If you stop thinking about it that way, and you start thinking about, she might need me. She might be praying for something to come into her life right now, and I'm not sharing this with her. That's going to take the spamminess out, first of all. But when people say, this is the best tip that I've heard, when people say, I want to be authentic, teach me how to be authentic. What script? What do I say to be authentic? You want to know the answer of how to be authentic? You just be authentic. You say what you're thinking. You say what's on your mind, as cheesy or corny or scary, however it might sound or feel for you. That's what you say, because that is being authentic. That's being true to the thoughts that are going through your mind. So something that might look like something like this. Hey, Sarah, how are you? I always try to start out the conversations on a personal note before I approach business. If you've seen something about, I saw that you guys were at the beach, that looked like an amazing trip. Get some of that conversation going back and forth. But then I say something like, this might sound crazy and like it's coming out of nowhere, but I've had you on my mind and I've wanted to ask you this for the longest time because I know you would be a rock star, but I didn't ask because I was scared you would say no. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. Or you could even say, but I've been challenged to do it scared. Or I've been challenged to step out of my comfort zone because I'm challenging you right now. I want all of you to do it scared. So you can tell them, but I've been challenged to do it scared. And I go back to the video. I have a quick 3-minute video about what I do. Would you be open to taking a look? That's the script I was looking for a few minutes ago and I couldn't find it. But just ask them, would you be open to taking a look? And I tell them, I think you would be amazing at this. But I've been scared to ask you because I thought you might say no. And if you, here's the honest thing. If you tell them, I've been scared to ask you because I thought you might say no, they could still say no. But when you ask them, would you be open to taking a look? They're probably not going to because most people are friendly people in general. And you've already told them, I was scared you were going to say no, so I didn't do it. So that kind of breaks that barrier. And most of the time it kind of softens it. So you're not being, spammy-pammy. But just be authentic. Tell them what you're thinking. Tell them, I've wanted to reach out to you for a while, but I knew you were doing this other business, or I know you're super busy, and sometimes I know we feel like we can't handle anything else on our plate, but that's the same reason that I started this business, because I needed some time freedom, and it was the only way I could take other things off my plate. So would you be open to taking a look? Whatever it is that you've had on your mind, that you've been thinking about this person, that you wanted to approach them, but for some reason you were hesitant or you were scared, tell them. Be authentic. Be real. Because that's what draws people to you. When they feel like you're being real, again, it goes back to like, well, I can be real. I can be myself. I can tell somebody I was scared to do something. Like, I can do that. They get to see that they don't have to be perfect or polished to do what you do, and that you don't have to do it a certain way. And here's the other thing. If they say no, that's okay. It is totally fine. Most of the people that we offer this to, like I said earlier, if they say no, it just means that they don't need you right now. But they will remember. And if they do need you, if things do change, if their circumstances change, or if they think about it more and they're like, wow, that really is an incredible opportunity, they will come back to you. So they could say no. But what if they say yes? Then what? Think about all of the positives if you offer it. They were sitting there needing you, praying, hoping, whatever, putting all the good vibes out into the universe, and you offer it and they say yes. Then we all win, right? So I'm going to leave you, these are not part of my 8 tips, but I'm going to leave you with 2 other things that I want you to think about. Don't assume that people know what you do and that if they want to do it, they'll ask you if they can join. Because just as scared as you are to ask them, they might be scared to ask you. They might have doubts in their own mind of like, I don't know if I can do that. Bridget over here, I see her, she goes live, she does this, I've never done that before, I don't think I could do that. Sometimes they need that compliment from us. Sometimes they need that word of encouragement or that belief that we have in them, that they don't have in themselves. I can't remember exactly who. I think it might have been Tracy Rogers, but I could be wrong. But somebody told their story about how years ago they saw the opportunity in direct sales, and they were like, okay, I'm going to go for this. And they went to a jewelry party with their mom, and at the end of the night, she was helping the lady pack up. She had watched how it all went down. She was helping the lady pack up, and she was like, I think I might want to do this. And she'd seen in the pamphlet or brochure something in there about like, ask us about joining our team or something along those lines. So she didn't ask. Finally, she's helping her load her car, putting the stuff in the trunk, and she knew this one was getting ready to pull off. And she was like, okay, I've just got to ask you. I saw that page in there, and I think I might have some questions. I might be interested in doing what you do. She put herself out there, which most people don't do. She put herself out there, and y'all know what happened? Mom told her, said, oh, honey, we're good. We've got this area covered. So she felt like she wasn't good enough. Like there was something wrong with her. So she said that she went to every direct sales party that she was invited to after that. She would get her mom. Her mom was like trying to decline invitations. And she's like, no, Mom, go and take me with you. She waited for years for somebody to ask her to join their team. And people didn't. She thought she wasn't good enough or she wasn't worthy enough and that nobody wanted her on their team. So don't think that just because somebody knows what you do and they know that you have a team or that you're wanting to grow a team, that if they're interested that they will ask you, because some of them are just as scared to ask you as you are to ask them. So be the person that offers. She might need you. Be that person to ask. Second thought before we go. If you have somebody in your mind, on your dream team list, on your wish list, on your friends list, in your family, anybody at all in your life that you can think of that you would be upset if they joined this business under somebody else, you need to ask them. Because if you don't, somebody else out here will. And if they join under somebody else, then you've lost them. So remember, she might need you. And if you don't ask, somebody else will. Those are two of my biggest things that I want you to take away from this is we're just offering. And if we don't put it out there, somebody else might. So those are my top 8 tips. Every time you sit down to ask somebody, I want you to say to yourself, whether you have to say it in your mind, out loud, what if she needs me? I want you to say that to yourself every single time you get ready to, even if you're sitting down to message 5 people before you message every single one, what if she needs me? 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 Every time you do that, it's going to put you in the right mindset and it's going to help you. It's going to help you have that courage to reach out. It's going to help you break out of your comfort zone. You've got some tools. You've got some tips and tricks. You know how to be authentic now. You just say it. You be authentic. You can use my Have You Ever Considered Slinging Nails With Me script. You can use our video. You've got all the tools. You've got 3-way chats. You've got everything you need to go out there and to enroll all the people. So I'm going to leave you with this, okay? Remember, to the world, you may be just one person. But to one person, you just may be the world. So go be somebody's world. Go ask them and explode your teams. Share the Color Street love. And I hope to see you all with lots and lots of success. Let me know if you have any questions. I will answer them in the comments. You guys are welcome. Thank you for having me. I will post the poem. Anything else that you have questions that need me to post, just let me know and I will get those up as soon as this is done. I appreciate your time. I appreciate all of you. I want you to go have all the success in the world and be the girl who decided to go for it. Bye, y'all.